Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's Dina Calmety here. And for today's news, I just have some short headlines I'd like to share with you. And I'd like to start with this first headline from Prophecy Newswatch. Prophecy Newswatch is reporting, as well as many other sources, about China's drone Mothership. This thing is a monster, you guys. Last week, Chinese media unveiled a new tool for their military. It's a flying mothership capable of launching 100 kamikaze drones in seconds. It's sleek, it's stealthy, and it's named Sky High. This 80-foot wingspan aircraft is not just another drone, it's a drone launcher. A high-altitude arsenal capable of raining down coordinated, intelligent, and lethal swarms with stunning speed and precision. This is not a hypothetical weapon. It exists, it flies, and it can redefine the future, particularly for the United States Navy, whose aircraft carriers may soon face threats for which no current defense is sufficient. So imagine 100 self-destructing drones descending like locusts on a carrier group in the Pacific, overwhelming radars, jamming comms, targeting antennas, runways, and weapon systems all at once. Military analysts have long feared the day when swarms of autonomous drones could flood American defenses. Well, now that day is here. So if we are reading this, and we're thinking, but we're the United States, we have the best military on earth, and we're not wrong. But we may be missing the bigger picture, because AI is reshaping everything. Beijing is signaling loud and clear we will dominate the sky. China's drone mothership is a message to Taiwan, to Japan, and most especially to Washington. With that being said, the most important news, Michael Schneider is reporting that the Ayatollah makes it clear there will be no deal with Trump, as Israel is making preparations to strike Iranian nuclear facilities. The Iranians, very harshly, have told President Trump that he is not going to get what he wants. Over the weekend, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff told ABC News that Iran will not be allowed to enrich uranium. And White House Press Secretary told reporters on Monday that we are 100% committed to that red line. Of course, the Iranians were never going to agree to that, and the Ayatollah just made that exceedingly clear. The Iranians apparently believe that Trump was bluffing about taking military action against Iran, and so now we may see if Trump was bluffing or not. Now take this for what it's worth. CNN is reporting that Israel is making preparations to strike Iranian nuclear facilities. Apparently, U.S. officials have come to this conclusion based on intercepted Israeli communications and observations of Israeli military movements. So one way or another, Israel is determined to put an end to Iran's nuclear program. Of course, the Trump administration wants to do the exact same thing, but the president wants to do it peacefully. But perhaps that was never really a realistic goal. The Iranians were never going to agree to stop enriching uranium, and the White House is telling the world that it simply will not accept anything less than that. In other news, the Pope has offered to host the Russia-Ukraine peace talks at the Vatican, according to the Italian Prime Minister. In a statement, her office had been asked to contact the Pope during a call with President Trump and European leaders on Monday, the same day Trump discussed peace plans with President Putin. Trump said on Monday it would be great if Russia and Ukraine could sit down for talks at the Vatican. The Pope said last week the Holy See is always ready to help bring enemies together, face to face, to talk to one another. The Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said that Russia welcomed the readiness and efforts of all parties who want to contribute to a speedy settlement. Prophecy Recon's reporting that the British government announced new sanctions on Tuesday targeting prominent figures and organizations involved in Israeli settlement activity in Judea and Samaria. This move follows a joint condemnation issued by the UK, France, and Canada criticizing Israel's policies and its military campaign, Operations Gideon's Chariots in Gaza. Alongside the sanctions, the UK government announced a suspension of free trade negotiations with Israel and summoned the Israeli ambassador to formally voice its disapproval. Addressing Parliament, Prime Minister Keir Starmer condemned the recent escalation, emphasizing the need for an immediate ceasefire and humanitarian relief. In other news, House Republicans have successfully passed President Trump's multi-trillion-dollar big beautiful tax bill in a major win for the president. Its passage 215 to 214 is a major milestone for the White House and Republicans in Congress who have spent the entirety of the new administration crafting the measure's specifics. The bill accounts for trillions of dollars in tax cuts and enshrines Trump's signature slashes in 2017. The package also provides for $350 billion to go to MAGA projects, including to Trump's new Golden Dome missile defense system, and of course, his other policies. To fund the massive loss in federal revenue, Congress has decided to make deep cuts to social programs and add work requirements to Medicaid. One of the most popular provisions in the Trump savings account is giving every newborn baby a $1,000 investment in the future. Democrats feverishly pushed back against the bill, which contains steep spending cuts for social programs. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to leave that bill, because it's right off of the White House's website, in the description underneath this video. So you can see for yourself what exactly is in the bill with your own eyes. There's like 47 pages. So if you really want to read through all of that, which I highly suggest that you do, because it will affect us at some point in the future, but go and check it out. I believe that some of the articles in that bill does not take effect until December 31st, 2025, but go and check it out underneath this video in the description. In other news, the U.S. Department of Justice has opened a criminal investigation into former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo for allegedly lying to Congress about his decisions made during the pandemic while serving as governor. The New York Times first reported that the U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington opened the inquiry into Cuomo about a month ago, after senior officials in the DOJ demanded an indictment of the New York City Mayor Eric Adams for corruption charges to be dismissed. The Trump administration is now in an unusual spot of ending a criminal case against Adams while opening a new case into Adams' main rival within months of each other. Cuomo is running in the Democratic primary to serve as the next mayor of New York City, while Adams is seeking re-election as an independent candidate. The former governor was grilled by Republican lawmakers last year about his handling of certain items. Obviously, I'm on YouTube. I can't say certain words. House Republicans subsequently recommended that the Justice Department pursue criminal charges against him. They accused him of intentionally lying to Congress during the House Oversight Committee's investigation into the excessive number of nursing home incidences. Again, because I'm on YouTube, I can't say certain words. So what is happening in Bible prophecy news? According to AccuWeather, there were over 900 tornadoes this season, which makes it the worst since 2011. Let's talk about the St. Louis tornado sirens that didn't sound during the storm. We've got several different types of reports, but this is what CBS News is reporting. St. Louis's emergency management chief has been placed on administrative leave, according to the city's mayor, after sirens meant to sound during a tornado warning that failed to be activated ahead of Friday's twister. Sarah Russell, commissioner of the city emergency management agency in St. Louis, will remain on paid administrative leave as an external investigation proceeds into what went wrong. The mayor already ordered an internal probe in the immediate aftermath of the siren failure, when National Weather Service radar indicated that a tornado touched down between 2:30 and 2:50 p.m. local time. It initially struck near central St. Louis before ripping through the area, which officials estimated some 5,000 people were affected. There is a system of 60 outdoor sirens stationed around St. Louis, which are meant to be activated once the National Weather Service issues a tornado warning for the area, as it did on Friday. There are two places where they can be activated, the SEMA office and the fire department. According to Spencer's office, which announced Russell's leave on Tuesday, the commissioner was attending an off-site workshop with other emergency management staff when the tornado warning came down. And that prevented them from activating the sirens from their agency's main building about a half-mile away. Russell instead contacted the fire department to activate the sirens, but the directive was ambiguous, according to the mayor. Her office released the recording of Russell's call to the department in which she confirms they are aware of the NWS warning and briefly clarifies the timing of it before saying, "Okay, you got the sirens." The person at the fire department replies, "Yes, ma'am," and the call ends. The direction was not clear, and it is her understanding that the button was not pushed. So the button at the SEMA office was functioning. The fire department personnel will be stationed there 24/7 to activate the sirens if needed. So the sirens were not turned off by anybody in the White House. There were some reports out there that Trump sent down an order to turn off all the sirens to save money. According to this report with CBS, it was an internal state issue. Somebody did not do their job. So a very sad situation that resulted in catastrophe. The Watchers is reporting that extreme rainfall caused major flooding across western New South Wales isolating 48,000 people. It pushed rivers beyond its capacity starting on Sunday, May 18th. The Manning River reached a record of 21 feet, breaking a record from 1929. And emergency crews have responded to nearly 4,000 calls for assistance. A major landslide struck in central Quebec, Canada on May 21st, sweeping away a house and cutting through a road. The event forced nearby residents to evacuate, but no injuries or missing persons at this time were reported. The slide left a large ground scar estimated at 2,493 feet long and 492 feet wide. That is huge. And again, we have another landslide triggered by heavy rainfall in China. This occurred on May 18th. Heavy rainfall between the 18th and 19th caused severe flooding in India, resulting in 3 parishes, inundating over 500 homes. The unusual pre-monsoon downpour, driven by 2 converging low-pressure systems and associated thunderstorms, brought intense rainfall to the capital of India. A very sad situation, but you guys, this is happening all over the world with this catastrophic weather. And here in Ghana, heavy rainfall triggered severe flooding across Ghana on May 18th, where a number of people lost their lives and displacing more than 3,000 people. Here is another landslide in Indonesia, triggered by heavy rain that struck a remote gold mine in West Papua on May 16th. Rescue efforts were delayed by the site's inaccessibility and were halted again on May 19th due to damaged roads and continued rainfall. In the meantime, a 6.2 earthquake slammed into Crete, Greece on May 22nd and was followed by several moderate aftershocks. The earthquake occurred approximately 68 miles north-northwest of the 6.0 event that was recorded on May 13th. So they got slammed twice, you guys. Another strong and shallow earthquake registered by the USGS as a 6.4 hit near the coast of New Guinea. The agency is reporting a depth of 6.2 miles. So these earthquakes are definitely getting larger and stronger. In the meantime, the Daily Mail is reporting that a small private plane crashed into a quiet military housing neighborhood in Southern California early this morning. A huge fireball erupted after the crash, setting multiple homes and cars ablaze. Officials say that at least 15 properties have been affected. In the meantime, in East Africa, geothermal energy is big business, and that's all thanks to the East African Rift System, one of the largest rift systems on Earth, stretching 4,000 miles from Ethiopia in the north to Malawi in the south. EARS is filled with rift valleys and active volcanic regions that form some of the world's most famous volcanoes. But now they're saying that a hidden blob beneath Africa is fueling volcanoes, and it could split the continent in 2. Breitbart News is reporting that OpenAI CEO Sam Altman has unveiled to employees the company's ambitious plans to develop and ship 100 million AI companion devices created in collaboration with a former Apple designer. The CEO recently provided his staff with an inside look at the highly anticipated AI companion devices. During a company meeting on Wednesday, Altman expressed his belief that this project presents a chance to do the biggest thing we've ever done as a company before, he said, following the announcement of OpenAI's $6.5 billion acquisition of Ive's startup. Altman suggested that the acquisition has the potential to add a staggering $1 trillion in value to OpenAI. He emphasized the importance of secrecy surrounding the project to prevent competitors from replicating the product before its official launch. The goal is to release the device by late next year, with plans to ship an unprecedented 100 million units faster than any company has ever achieved with a new product. The two leaders offered hints about their secret project, describing a device that will be fully aware of a user's surroundings and life, unobstructive, and able to rest comfortably in one's pocket or on a desk. So basically surveillance 24/7, you guys. This AI companion is envisioned as a third core device alongside MacBook Pro and an iPhone. Altman clarified that the device is not a phone or a pair of glasses, Instead, they are working on a family of devices that seamlessly integrates hardware and software, much like Apple's successful approach. Apparently, it's supposed to be a new design movement that will revolutionize the way users interact with technology. I just don't like the way that sounds. But it goes on to further report that these ambitious plans reflect Altman's bold vision for OpenAI's expansion across various domains, including data centers, enterprise technology, chatbots, personal robots, and more. So I don't know, you guys. What do you think? What is it? Let me know in the comments. Sounds like a beast-like technology to me, but that's just my opinion. But those are your headlines for today. Please do leave your comments below this video. Come and visit us on our social media pages as well as our website at www.cww7news.com. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening and weekend, and I will see you all back here on Monday. God bless and stay safe.